So through function composition, we can also just create new functions, right? So instead of getting a numerical answer, we can also do it in a way where we just get a new equation, right? So let's say we're given the following. We're given that f of x is negative 3x plus 12, and g of x is 2x squared plus 6x minus 6, okay? And now we're trying to find f of gx. So we know that g of x, right? The output of g of x is just 2x squared plus 6x minus 6, right? That was just given to us. So what we're going to do is this output is going to become the input for f of x. So essentially, instead of writing f of x, I'm going to write f of 2x squared plus 6x minus 6. So what this means is every time I see an x, I'm going to replace x with this in f of x. Okay, so f of x is given right here. So I'm going to replace this x with this whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to have negative 3. And then again, I'm replacing the x with 2x squared plus 6x minus 6. And then I still have that plus 12 at the end. And then from here, what you're going to do is we just got to simplify. So you got to distribute. So we have negative 6x squared minus 18x plus 18 plus 12. And then I can combine my like terms, which is 18 and 12, which becomes 30. So my final answer becomes this, right? Negative 6x squared minus 18x plus 30, okay? Let's say it's telling us to do the opposite. Now we're trying to find g of f of x. So remember, I'm starting with the rightmost function, f of x. So I know f of x, it's given to us, the output of f of x is negative 3x plus 12, right? So this is now going to become the input for g of x, right? So instead of writing g of x, I'm going to be replacing all the x's with negative 3x plus 12. So what that's going to give me, I'm now writing this g of x, but anytime I see an x, I'm replacing it with negative 3x plus 12. That's what I'm plugging in. So I'm going to write it in the line below. So I have 2, and then I have x squared. So negative 3x plus 12 squared plus 6. And then again, instead of x, I have negative 3x plus 12. And then minus 6, right? So all I did was I took this function. Anytime I saw an x, I replaced it with this, right? So now I have to simplify this right here. And it looks a little bit complicated, but we're going to break this down. So first, what I'm going to simplify is this part right here, right? This is essentially saying negative 3x plus 12 times negative 3x plus 12. So I'm going to use the box method to multiply this out. So this is going to give me, again, I'm multiplying, so 9x squared, right? This is from your last test. And if I combine like terms, I'm going to have 9x squared minus, do this in your calculator, 72x plus 144, okay? So, wow, I'm running out of space, but you have space as well. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm rewriting this whole function here, okay? So I have 2, and then now when I multiplied this part out, I got 9x squared minus 72x plus 144. And then I still have, I'm going to rewrite everything else the same, negative 3x plus 12, and then the minus 6. So at this point, now it's all just distributive property, right? We're going to distribute, and we're going to distribute. And I'm going to use my calculator. So 2 times 9 is 18x squared, minus 72 times 2 is 144x, plus 144 times 2 is 288. Okay, now I'm distributing the 6. So 6 times negative 3 is minus 18x. 6 times 12, 72. And then I have the minus 6. Okay? Now I need to combine like terms. So I have x's, and then I have these non-x's. Okay, so the 18x squared stays. I can't combine it with anything else. I'm going to combine the x's. So negative 144x minus 18x is minus 162x. And now I'm combining all the green, right? So that's going to give me, if I'm not wrong, 354. Okay, so when I simplified this fully, when I found, remember the original question was g of f of x, I get this function right here. Okay, so it's a process, but it's doable. If you have questions, raise your hand.